What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. We got a lot to cover with what is going on with crypto. Bitcoin is still breaking through resistance levels. We are seeing it start to approach record highs, and it's looking like a couple of key events are going to happen within the next 48 hours, which could propel us up to that $64,000 all-time high. Ethereum also making major moves recently between what had happened with the Ethereum London hard fork, between ETH 2.0 and a bunch of upgrades that are about to take place for Ethereum or that have just happened within the last couple of weeks. And also, we are seeing Cardano make major moves, up nearly 20% in the last 24 hours. So in today's video, we're going to cover everything going on. I am still traveling, so we don't have the normal setup. Hopefully, everything's looking okay with the video, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I am back home and we're not like using this modified travel setup. But anyways, if you enjoy this sort of content, well then please be sure to like the video down below, subscribe to the channel. We're never going to miss a video any day, no matter if I am at home in the studio or if I'm traveling. We're always going to be here. But anyways, let's take a look at what is going on in the market first before we go over a couple of key events that are just about to happen. Right now, the market is up just about 4.2%. We are getting close to breaking through that $2 trillion market cap yet again. We haven't seen the market cap for crypto above $2 trillion ever since earlier in the year, in April and in May of 2021, before we saw the bit of a correction happen. Right now, with regards to technicals, things are looking great for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and all of the other altcoins in the crypto market. Cardano is really the big winner over the last 24 hours. We did a video specifically on that, so make sure to check that out. It's linked down below. I'll link it down below after the video. But Cardano has had a couple of major events happen between the Alonzo upgrade, between a couple of major non-governmental organizations coming out and talking about their use cases for Cardano. So there's a lot of positive news coming out there, but ultimately the entire market is up significantly. Big news that is coming out over the next 48 hours is with regards to something called the Golden Cross, because right now Bitcoin is quickly approaching this so-called Golden Cross, and that is essentially where the 50-day moving average crosses above the 200-day moving average. It's a clear technical indicator that many people use in the stock market, in crypto, and it's a sign that we're entering a bull market for crypto long term, that we've officially entered a bull market, because recently we have seen the price bounce back. Ever since about July 21st, 2021, we have seen consistent days in the green for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for all the altcoins, but now the 50-day moving average breaking above the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin is a sure sign that we are entering a bull market in crypto. So that is very positive. That is supposed to take place on August 13th, 2021. It's going to take place right around that $46,000 per coin range. So as long as we don't see any major drop in Bitcoin or the crypto market within the next 48 hours, we should see this Golden Cross happen. And in my opinion, once it happens, I think we're going to see more money start pouring into crypto, because anyone who might have been on the sidelines, well, this is a sure sign that, look, the market has a lot of positive sentiment around it. People are very optimistic about where crypto is going, and people who might have been on the fence, this is going to be like that indicator for them that is going to encourage them to get back into the market if they had taken money out. So we'll keep an eye out on this, but unless something crazy happens over the next 48 hours, this Golden Cross, where the 50-day moving average crosses above the 200-day moving average, should happen. If we look at this chart right here, it essentially shows us that the blue line is the 50-day moving average and the black line is the 200-day moving average, and the point where that blue line crosses the black line is where that Golden Cross would happen. And you can see right here, it's scheduled to take place right around August 13th, so within the next 48 hours, and it's supposed to take place around that it's going to take place right around $46,000 with Bitcoin right around there. Anyways, next up with regards to Bitcoin, a couple of key things with regards to technicals that indicate where the market is going over the next couple of weeks and next couple of months. So right now, with regards to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has broken a number of key resistances lately. We broke through $40,000 per coin like it was nothing. We continued our way up. Then we started started to break through $45,000 per coin. And now the next major resistance, really the only resistance we have before we start reaching record highs for Bitcoin, is at that $48,000 per coin range. Just about $47,500, $48,000 per coin. You can see when we start zooming out on the chart, we don't really have any resistance. Let's pull this up. We don't have any resistance until we start getting to that 48,000, right around here, $47,500, $48,000 range. That is the only resistance we have until we start reaching new record highs for Bitcoin. And right now, things are looking very optimistic. In the last couple of weeks, we have seen that in the last couple of months, we have seen that Bitcoin has surged by 60% from July lows when we were less than $30,000 per coin. So just a couple of weeks ago, Bitcoin was less than $30,000. Ethereum was less than $2,000. Now we're seeing Bitcoin up nearly 60% from those lows. We're seeing Ethereum up nearly 90% from that. And the sentiment has flipped entirely for all of crypto, according to a number of studies, according to blockchain data. Right now, we are seeing compared to 3 weeks ago, is that 3 weeks ago, the majority of people were discussing a potential breakdown in all of crypto, that we were going to see a crash, a correction, and we were going to see it drop back down to like $18,000 per coin. That is what people were talking about with Bitcoin just 3 weeks ago, but now the sentiment is completely reversed. No one is looking at that $20,000 per coin range for Bitcoin. Everyone is looking towards, Bitcoin rising, looking towards a bull market where Bitcoin could potentially break above $48,000 per coin and reach new record highs. So the sentiment has completely changed for all of crypto. And really, when this started happening was during that B-Word Day event between Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, Cathie Woods, and between all of them. So that is essentially what happened back on July 21st. That is what started this entire bull market. In addition to this, so those are the big technical indicators for Bitcoin, which is going to be that $48,000 resistance and also the golden cross. Both of those are very, very important for where Bitcoin and the entire crypto market is going to go over the next couple of weeks, and an indicator of if people are bullish or bearish on crypto. Next thing that is happening is with whale accounts, and this is very good for crypto because we have also seen a key change in a number of whale accounts and what they are doing with crypto. Not just, we're seeing whale accounts, institutions. They made a key change over the last couple of days with crypto. And that is that institutional investors are buying Bitcoin like it's late 2020. Again, late 2020 was when we first started to see crypto take off. It's when Bitcoin went from $10,000 a coin all the way up to $60,000 a coin. It's when Ethereum went from less than $1,000, less than $500 per coin, all the way up to over $4,000 per coin. That is the exact moment in late 2020. And what really was the catalyst for this happening was institutional investors getting involved. We saw MicroStrategy buy Bitcoin for the first time in about August of 2020. We saw Tesla buy for the first time in early 2021. We saw Square buy. We saw a number of institutions get involved in crypto. And now the big thing, the important thing going on with crypto is that institutional investors are starting to buy back in. So ever since about May 19th, ever since middle of May when the market had experienced that major correction, we have seen Bitcoin entities, like entities in general with 10,000 to 100,000 Bitcoin, have added over 269,450 Bitcoin to their holdings. We've talked about this a little bit before, but they've added over $12.1 billion in Bitcoin to their holdings over the last 2 months or so, since May 19th. In addition to this, we have also seen that the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges is at a 3-month low. So it's at 2.44 million Bitcoin. And what this means is not only are big players optimistic and they're buying more, but also the other thing going on with crypto right now is that they're buying crypto, but also they're taking it off of exchanges. So that is very, very, promising for their outlook on crypto. It means they're very optimistic. They're very excited about where crypto is going, because taking crypto off of exchanges means that they're not planning on selling it anytime soon. They're just throwing it in cold storage, and they're bullish on it long term. And when institutions buy crypto, and when anyone buys crypto, if you're like on the fence and you're not sure if you want to stay in, you keep it on an exchange because it's easy to sell. You could sell it at any instant. But if you're bullish on it long term, a lot of people, especially institutions, they take their money, they put it into cold storage, and they take it off of exchanges. So that is essentially what is going on with big money players, institutional investors, whale accounts. They're buying more, they're taking it off of exchanges, and those are both things that happened back in October, November, December of 2020 when we saw the start of the rally in crypto. Next up is what is going on with regards to a couple of, in my opinion, a couple of things that are huge for adoption and what is going on with retail investors, institutional investors, and just people in general having easier access to crypto. The first thing is what is going on with regards to PayPal, because PayPal just launched a cash back to crypto feature, which allows anyone with a Venmo card, so like anyone with a Venmo credit card, to when they make purchases, they get cash back. This cash back can automatically be put into crypto. So the way it works is, according to Venmo in a recent announcement, they said starting today, cash back to crypto will be rolling out to Venmo credit card holders, offering more ways to use cash back and expanding on Venmo's crypto functionality, which was launched earlier this year. So essentially, this is exciting because we're seeing a number of companies start to get into crypto, like credit cards and crypto cards. People are starting to get into this. We're seeing so many companies do this. But Venmo already has over 70 million users. And with Venmo, essentially, they're saying if you have a Venmo credit card, anytime you get cash back on a purchase, we can automatically invest that into crypto. And it can be any cryptocurrency you want. You just automatically set them, no transaction fees, and it's extremely easy. Back earlier in 2021, Venmo also had announced that people would be able to buy and sell and trade crypto on their Venmo accounts as well, and they offer currently Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. But now this takes it another level up because now they're allowing people, when they make purchases on a credit card, to get cash back and automatically put that money into crypto. So that is very exciting. That is very good for crypto, because one thing that I like to think with crypto, one thing that we always talk about on the channel, is currently only 6% of people in the US actually invest in crypto. Only 6% of people invest in crypto. And I think this is going to change dramatically over time. I think one day we'll see easily over 50% of people in the US own crypto. So how is that going to happen? Well, the one way that's going to happen is by it becoming much easier for people to buy and sell crypto. So when we start seeing companies like Venmo, companies like PayPal, companies like Apple or Amazon start to have crypto features, that's what makes it easy for people to get involved in crypto. That's what I think personally. Because, for example, over 1 billion people have iPhones, and there are over 1 billion active iPhones in the world. If Apple were to roll out some sort of crypto functionality, crypto features, and they rolled it out to all iPhone users, it came, let's say, built in on the iPhone, well, then that would be instantly that 1 billion people have access to crypto that might have not had access before. Because right now, if you want to buy crypto, you have to, let's say, download Coinbase or download Binance. You have to put in, a picture of your driver's license or your ID. You have to put in your social security number, and you have to go through all these hoops to just buy crypto. And then it's not really easy to spend it. Sometimes it's like, if you buy crypto on Robinhood, you can't spend it. So it gets to be difficult for people to actually own crypto. And in my opinion, the way that we're going to see this increase is when it becomes easier and easier for people to actually buy and use their crypto. So Venmo, with having, tens of millions of users already, I think with them rolling out this crypto cash, like this cash back to crypto feature, I think it's great. I think it's going to make it so maybe people who might not invest directly in crypto, they might say, oh, if I get however much money cash back, most people don't really think about that. So I think this could be a way to get a lot of people involved with crypto, just, dipping their toes in and not getting too heavily involved, but an easy way for millions of people to get involved with crypto. So we will see what happens there. Next up is what is going on with a institution called Barrick Gold Corporation. And their CEO came out and said that the reason that cryptocurrency has been doing so well lately is because no one believes in fiat currencies. And so, first of all, before we get into exactly what he says, we got to remember that he's the CEO of essentially a gold company. They invest in gold, they work with gold. So whatever he says is probably going to be a little bit biased because he is very optimistic about gold. He's always invested in gold, and that's what the company does. So we just need to keep that in mind. But Barrick Gold CEO Mark Bristow, he came out and he had an interview on CNBC, Squawk on the Street. He came out and spoke specifically about cryptocurrency versus gold, where he sees cryptocurrency going, and everything else like that. So first off, he says he's not a big fan of crypto. He doesn't really like cryptocurrency, and he thinks that it's inferior to gold. But ultimately, what he says is that this year, cryptocurrency has been doing extremely well, and he believes that the main reason that this has been happening is that because people they have lacked trust in fiat currencies like the US dollar, like the euro, like the yuan. People have lacked trust and lacked faith in those currencies, especially with the pandemic. Let's say in the US, they've printed out trillions of dollars. People are concerned about inflation. And he said the main reason why he sees that cryptocurrency is doing well is because people are worried about inflation and fiat currency. So they want to have something that is a store of value, that has nothing to do with any currency, nothing to do with the stock market. And so people are looking towards cryptocurrency. He said that this world is battling with how to position investments on the back of the unforeseen and unrealized damage of how the pandemic crisis was managed and the impact it has had on the global economy, which really hasn't materialized yet. So he says, ultimately, he doesn't think there's any comparison for crypto and gold, but the reason why it has been doing well is because people lack trust in fiat currencies. So when we look at this, even though he says he's not the most bullish on crypto, I think his point about that no one believing in fiat currencies anymore is something that is very true and is very prominent and very, it's a big issue in the crypto world because a lot of people right now, don't always trust the governments. They don't always trust the US dollar or the euro. They're worried about inflation. And so a lot of people, whether they like crypto or not, they realize that it is a store of value outside of the US dollar, outside of the traditional financial system. And whether people like it or not, most institutional investors, most retail investors have started to put money into it or at least consider crypto for that very reason. MicroStrategy has come out and said that their CEO, Michael Saylor, he came out and said that, look, do I want money sitting in a bank in Europe where I'm essentially, or like even in the US, where we're losing money because of inflation? If it's just sitting in the bank with interest rates? No. People don't want to just, let's say the company makes $1 billion. They put that in the bank, and the next year, because of inflation, because of interest rates, it's essentially they have less buying power than they did before. No, people don't want that. So one way to combat that is by investing in crypto. You could invest in stocks, but like Michael Saylor, who is the CEO of MicroStrategy, he says that that's one of the many reasons why they invest so much of their money, so much of their cash into crypto is because, he sees that fiat currency has become a major issue, whether you're talking about the US dollar, whether you're talking about the euro, that they are, with interest rates, with all the money that was printed during the pandemic, they have become not a good store of value anymore. If you just keep money in cash, you're losing money to, inflation. So there's a lot going on there, but that is what he had to say with regards to crypto versus fiat currencies. Before we get into the next topic, though, if you guys can, please be sure to like the stream. Let's see if we get this up to 200 likes. It really helps me out a lot. And YouTube, you guys know, had deleted my account previously. So the only way we get these videos out to more people is by you guys helping me out, liking the videos. So let's see if we can get up to 200 likes and throw anything in the comments that you want to talk about. We're going to stay on a bit longer at the end today and just talk about everything going on with crypto. Any questions you have, I've seen a lot of you guys talking about XRP in the chat, so we will go over that as well. But so just please be sure to like, turn on the bell notifications, and let's see if we get up to 200 likes. Anyways, next up is what is going on with regards to the infrastructure bill. So the infrastructure bill has been like the major talk in the crypto world over the last couple of over the last couple of weeks, about 2 weeks or so, because what had happened is in this infrastructure bill, there was wording about a crypto tax provision that they sort of just threw in there last minute, and this crypto tax provision was essentially it's supposed to generate about $28 billion in revenue for the government, help pay for this $1 trillion infrastructure bill. But the problem with this, and what the cryptocurrency community didn't really like about it, was that who they were requiring to report information to the government, like what sort of cryptocurrency companies. And the wording they used, they said the word broker. But the problem is that it was very broad, and it essentially included crypto exchanges, Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin software developers, and included stakers, and all these other people who really had none of the necessary equipment or systems in place to actually, record and record information from their customers. Anyways, what had happened was we had a couple of amendments that were submitted that were going to specify the wording and be a little more specific about that wording regarding brokers. But what had happened was those were blocked, they weren't passed, and then the Senate ultimately passed the original version of the bill with the very broad definition of brokers in it. And now what is going on is that since the U.S. Senate just passed it with, I believe, a 63 to 30 or 69 to 30 vote. They passed it with a 69 to 30 vote in favor of it. Now it's being sent off to the House of Representatives. And so we're going to have to keep an eye on what is going on there, because if this bill is to pass the House of Representatives and be sent off to the president and is passed there, well, that could have big impacts on the crypto market. It could have negative impacts because some Bitcoin miners, some crypto software developers, and other people in the crypto world outside of exchanges may start moving outside of the US because of these new reporting requirements. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this, but that is essentially what is going on with the infrastructure bill. It passed the Senate. It is using the original wording, which people aren't really too fond of. Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, Brian Armstrong, who's the CEO of Coinbase. All of these people have all come out and said that they think it's a bad idea. Mark Cuban has come out and said he thinks it's a bad idea. So all these people have come out and said that they think that this new crypto tax provision isn't a great idea because it's gonna really hinder some of the technological advancements of some crypto software developers and some other crypto companies, because they're going to have to implement new systems that they never even had to simply track and record information for the US government. So we'll see what happens here, but right now it has officially passed the Senate. It's being sent off to the House of Representatives. It is expected to pass there. It's expected to go through, not really any issues, but we'll have to just wait and see what happens. It is not like a sure thing that it's going to be turned into a law just yet, because remember, it has to pass the Senate, the House, and the president has to sign it into a law. So we'll see what happens, but I just want to give you guys a quick update on what is going on with that, because it has passed the Senate. It has the wording that people aren't really too excited about because it is very broad in what it defines brokers as. And so that is essentially what is going on there. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about what is going on with PNC Bank. PNC Bank is the 5th largest bank in the U.S., and they just recently announced a partnership with Coinbase, and they're planning to offer crypto investment services to their clients. So on Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, PNC came out and said that they've been working on a crypto project with Coinbase, and a source who had previously reported on this issue between PNC Bank and Coinbase had said that PNC Bank is expected to unveil new crypto services by the end of this year or within the next couple of quarters. And essentially what the goal of it is to essentially make it more seamless for PNC Bank customers to access cryptocurrency and invest directly in cryptocurrency. The thing is that we're already starting to see this happen. In a number of institutions all across the world, we have seen that they are starting to be more accepting of crypto. We have seen JP Morgan, we have seen Goldman Sachs, we have seen, some investment firms, some banks, even like Bank of America. We've seen a bunch of financial institutions start to open up to the idea of crypto. Some of them are offering crypto as an investment. Some of them are partnering with other companies. Some of them are just integrating a couple of more crypto features or starting to at least research it. But the exciting thing is that PNC has been plotting a more crypto-centric future. They've been looking into cryptocurrency for a while, ever since the last couple of months, since the beginning of 2021, when they put out a job posting for someone to head and lead their push into cryptocurrency. Their job posting essentially said that the role will work on scaling operations for their cryptocurrency investment capability, as well as managing all operational aspects pertaining to new cryptocurrency initiatives. So they have been working on this for a while, but what we just saw is that Coinbase, there have been new reports that they have a partnership with Coinbase, and Coinbase during their recent earnings call, which happened, like Q2 2021 earnings call, Coinbase came out. They did better than expected in terms of revenue. They said, Q3 might not be as well. But besides that, Coinbase came out and said that some 10% of the top 100 hedge funds by assets under management have onboarded Coinbase's institutional product. They've been seeing a lot of demand growing for it, and this is something similar that we're seeing with PNC Bank. We're seeing with a number of institutions all across the world. So this is something that is very exciting, makes us very optimistic about crypto, because like we spoke about towards the beginning of the video, institutional investors are continuing to get involved more and more into crypto, whether they're offering crypto services, whether they're partnering with Coinbase, whether they're just starting to research it. Like we said, we are starting to see a pickup happen. Since May 19th, 2021, we have seen that transactions of over $1 million in crypto have increased more than 10%. Since the beginning of August, they've increased more than 10%. And since the middle of May, these whale accounts have added more than $12 billion in Bitcoin to their position. So we're seeing Coinbase start saying that 10% of hedge funds, that the top hedge funds in the world, have onboarded their products. We're seeing PNC Bank start talking about crypto. We're seeing Goldman Sachs. We've seen JP Morgan. We've seen Bank of America. We've seen all these companies, these banks, financial institutions, have started to talk about crypto and are getting more involved, which ultimately, in my opinion, is going to help propel us to new all-time highs for crypto. One thing I want to talk about in particular is what is going on with regards to mass adoption for crypto. Because everyone is always talking about, Bitcoin is going to reach $100,000 per coin, and they just throw out crazy projections, but they don't exactly explain how it's going to happen. And we've talked about this a little bit on the channel. But the one thing, I'm pulling it up right here, one of the things that I think could be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs, for it breaking through $100,000 per coin, for it breaking $400,000 per coin, is what is going on with mass adoption with not only retail investors but also institutions. So the first thing is what is going on, let's say, with countries all around the world. We have seen that El Salvador had made Bitcoin legal tender in their country, and some people thought it was a good idea. Some people have not thought it's a great idea. But ultimately, whether you like it or not, what is up? Let me know if the stream is still working, guys. I don't know if it is. It just cut out for a second there. So let me know in the chat if it is still working. I still want to go over a couple more things with what is going on. Throw it in the chat if it's still working, guys. Cool. Okay, let's get back into it. So let me throw this up on the screen. Sorry about that. Let me just pull up the window. Well, it's not coming up. Let's move this. Give me 1 second. Sorry about these technical issues. Let's see. Dang it. Can't seem to pull up the screen right now, but we'll just talk about it for a minute. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'll probably cut this portion out of after the live stream, but we'll see. Is it letting me get it back? It's not letting me pull up the screen for you guys. Let's see. Window capture. There we go. We are back. Perfect. Okay. So the big thing going on, like the stream just sort of crashed for a second. I was able to pull it back up. But so everyone always talking about mass adoption for crypto. They're saying that, Bitcoin's going to reach 100,000, it's going to reach $400,000 per coin. But the one thing that I like, everyone always throws out these projections, but they don't really back it up by data. And the one thing that I like to talk about with that is that, first of all, we see that only 6% of people in the U.S. own crypto. And if you think more than 6% of people in the U.S. are going to own crypto at some point, well, that's going to help increase the market cap of the crypto market dramatically, because right now we're at about a $2 trillion market cap with only 6% of people in the US owning crypto. So imagine once that gets to 50%, 60%, 70%, I think ultimately one day everyone in the US will own crypto. The second thing going on is with institutional investors. Right now, a very small portion of institutional investors actually own crypto. We see right now that less than 5% of institutions own crypto. We see, yes, that let's say MicroStrategy, we see Tesla, we see Square, we see a couple of other companies own crypto, but the vast majority of institutions don't own crypto. They have never invested in it, and they've at least started to research and talk about it. So between only 6% of people in the US owning crypto right now, and between very few institutions actually owning it, that shows us how much upside we have. For anyone who thinks they're late into crypto, just think about those numbers. 6% of people in the US own it. Do you think it's going to be more? I think it's going to be more. And if it gets to be 50, 60, and one day 100% of people own some type of crypto, well, just imagine that's going to be, nearly 15 to 20 times more money coming in from retail investors. The second thing, like we said, is with institutions. Right now, very few institutional investors own it. But the one thing I like to talk about with this is regulations, because everyone always says, institutional investors will just start to put more money in over time. But the one thing in particular that I think is going to change that is with Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, what is going on with regulations in the US, because ultimately, some companies that have been around forever are not going to invest in crypto until there are regulations in place. Like, we always use these as examples, but let's say Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, companies that have been around forever that are never going away. The thing is those companies aren't going to invest in crypto until there are certain regulations in place, until they know for certain that their investments are protected, that they don't have to have any weird way to store their crypto. Like, they want to make sure that it is secure and regulations are in place. So for people who are saying regulations are bad, yes, they sometimes defeat the purpose of decentralized finance, but ultimately regulations are the only way that some of these big money players are going to get involved, because some companies are never going to get involved until there's a Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF, until there are regulations in place. It's just not going to happen. For example, one thing that I look at a lot is, and I think about a lot, is with Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. And yes, Minecraft Kid, I own a lot of ADA. I talked about it in the video the other day, but I own a lot of Cardano. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the one thing that I always like to think about with regards to institutional investors and regulations is that you got to remember, if institutions keep Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano or any crypto on their balance sheet, the issue with that is there's different reporting requirements. There is a different way they have to actually store that money. They can't just, have it in a brokerage account they can't just keep it as like normal stocks. There are a lot of risks to actually owning crypto as an institution, because people can essentially, track your wallet addresses. Anyone could find any wallet address. Like, for example, Dogecoin, people know that the largest Dogecoin wallet address has 28% of all Dogecoin. Same thing, you can figure that out with any crypto out there. So when institutions own crypto, they have to worry about, are we going to keep our crypto on exchanges? Are we going to keep it in cold storage? If we put it in cold storage, where are we going to put it? So all these things are issues. And that's why I think when regulators start put more systems in place, put more rules into place, and especially when they pass a Bitcoin Ethereum ETF, it makes it so much easier for these big money players to get involved. So like, for example, with regards to institutional investors putting money into Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Once there's a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, they don't have to worry. Like all these institutions can invest in these ETFs and not worry about how they're going to store their Bitcoin or what's going to happen because they just buy a Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF. That's it. They don't have to worry about it. And that means those ETFs will own the underlying Bitcoin. There's nothing they have to worry about. It is so easy for them to do. So right now there's over a dozen applications for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. But we'll wait and see what happens with that. I am very optimistic about it, and I think that's one way that we're going to start to see the crypto market really explode is when Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs are passed, and when some sort of company, let's say like Amazon or Apple, like when Apple, let's say, comes out with a crypto wallet feature, which gains instant access to crypto for millions of people. So those are two things, because it's just like 6% of people in the U.S. own crypto. Apple comes out with a feature, that number's going way up. Institutions, very few institutions actually own crypto, and I see that number increasing dramatically the second that a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF is passed. So both those things I think are very important for crypto. Next up is let's talk a little bit about what is going on with Cardano, because Cardano has been making the biggest gains over the last couple of days in crypto. Right now, Cardano's up nearly 20%, and the thing that's very exciting about this is we've talked about this coin a number of times on the channel. We have said, I've told you guys that I was dollar cost averaging when it was $1 per coin less than a month ago. Less than a month ago was at $1 per coin. I've talked about the entire way up. Yesterday I did a video on Cardano, said Cardano was spiking, and since then it's up another 20%. So we've been talking about this for a while. I've been getting these videos out to you guys, but Cardano is a coin that I have owned for a while. I've been dollar cost averaging the entire way up, and now we're starting to approach a couple of key resistance levels for Cardano. We're starting to get closer to that $2 range, which is a big resistance for Cardano. We haven't seen it at $2 per coin since about April, May of 2021, earlier in the year, and we haven't seen it that high. But now we're starting to see it get very close to breaking through those. Again, right now we're at about $1.88 per coin. But the big news that has come out with Cardano that has helped drive these gains with the coin has been what is going on with regards to smart contracts functionality and what is going on with Save the Children, which is a non-governmental organization. So over the last 48 hours, we have seen two reports come out about Cardano. The first is from Charles Hoskinson, their co-founder, co-creator. And in a recent update, he came out and explained how smart contracts, a new update for them, is imminent, and they are expecting the main net, so the full version essentially, to be rolled out to the general public by the end of August. I'm getting thirsty. By the end of August 2021. And so by the end of August 2021, they're expecting to have smart contracts not in a public test net anymore, but have the main net rolled out. And this is a big deal because whenever anyone talks about Cardano, one of the biggest things that people have against Cardano, besides it being smaller, having less active wallet addresses than Ethereum, but the one thing that people don't like about Cardano as much is that it was lacking these smart contracts. Because other than that, Cardano is more energy efficient than Ethereum. Cardano is able to process more transactions per second than Ethereum. Cardano has a lot of things going for it that Ethereum doesn't have yet. Like Ethereum 2.0 will definitely help Ethereum. It's going to make it more energy efficient. It's going to be able to make it process more transactions per second. It has a lot of it. But the couple of things with Cardano is that it lacks smart contracts, it lacked NFTs. And so now with these new upgrades, we're starting to see a lot of these things that people pointed out about Cardano no longer be issues anymore. The biggest thing about Cardano is that it simply doesn't have as many people building decentralized finance applications on its platform. It doesn't have as many active wallet addresses. And while those are really big deals, now at least Cardano is getting to be on the same exact playing field in terms of features as Ethereum, and it at least has all of the same options for developers that Ethereum has. So something very exciting to keep an eye on, because we have seen that Charles Hoskinson said that we will have smart contract functionality rolled out and by the end of August 2021. This has been something we've been waiting on for a while, so we'll just have to keep an eye out on that. The second thing going on with Cardano is what had happened with something called Save the Children. Because let me pull this up, Save the Children Cardano. Because Save the Children is a non-governmental organization, and they had spoken about previously how they partnered with Cardano in particular to accept Cardano payments when people are donating to Save the Children. And just recently, within the last 24 hours, around the same time that we started to see Cardano's price take off, around the same time that Charles Hoskinson came out and said about smart contracts functionality, all at that same time, we saw smart contracts, and also the senior advisor at Save the Children came out and explained the exact reason why he chose Cardano versus other cryptos, and why they personally like Cardano and what Cardano's mission is better than other coins out there. So the first thing is according to this senior advisor at Save the Children, they came out and said that right now with regards to Dogecoin, right now with regards to Cardano, sorry, I was reading some of the chat, but right now with regards to Cardano has a lot of the same mission and goals that Save the Children has, because Cardano, what they've been doing is they already have a major partnership in Ethiopia. They've been in a lot of talks with. In Ethiopia, they have a partnership with Education Council where they're implementing Cardano blockchain-based IDs for millions of students in thousands of schools. And so they already are working in Ethiopia. Cardano has also been in talks with Tanzania, potentially getting some partnerships rolling there. They've been in talks with El Salvador, potentially getting partnerships there as well and implementing Cardano there as well. So what Save the Children said, and this senior advisor said, is that the reason why they like Cardano is because they have some of the same mission and goals as Cardano does. Cardano has been working on a lot of projects in some, let's say, rural or developing areas. Areas that are not the best economically. And so Save the Children, that's in line with a lot of their goals. So I said that's one thing. The second thing is with regards to how much money people have actually spent and donated with crypto. While they said that not many people, it's not like a dramatic or crazy amount, they said still well over 7 figures has been donated to Save the Children organization with crypto so far. And then lastly, what is going on with Cardano and them is they also came out and said that the reason why they partnered with Cardano and why they're accepting crypto is because they want to give people options. If people want to donate with US dollars, if people want to donate with euros, if people want to send money with a credit card or with a check or whatever it is, they want to make sure people have the option to do that. So if people want to send money with crypto, they want to make sure people have the option to do that. So that's what's going on with Cardano right now. Really the big thing is what's going on with smart contracts and these being rolled out. Expecting to have a mainnet launched by the end of August 2021, and that will be absolutely huge. But we'll wait and see what happens with regards to that. It's just that people have been very excited about Cardano, smart contracts functionality, because this has been in the works for a while and it's finally coming to fruition, finally just about to happen. Now, moving on, I want to talk a little bit about what is going on with a couple of other coins. If you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the stream down below. Helps me out a lot. YouTube doesn't recommend my videos to the right audience. I know I keep repeating this, but ever since YouTube deleted my account back in, let's say, I think it was May, they deleted all my videos, my entire account, permanently deleted everything. Ever since that happened, I managed to get the channel back, but they don't recommend my videos to really anyone or the correct audience, and so the only way we get these videos out to more people is with your help and you guys helping me by liking the videos. Anyways, next up is I want to talk a little bit about what is going on with regards to Bitcoin futures ETF. So right now, let's pull it up. Vaneck has just come out and filed for a Bitcoin futures ETF. And this is a big deal because Bitcoin futures ETF isn't the same as a Bitcoin ETF, because a Bitcoin ETF owns and invests directly into Bitcoin. A Bitcoin futures ETF invests into Bitcoin and crypto-related products, and invests into other crypto ETFs, and invests into Bitcoin mining companies, and invests into like Grayscale and Ethereum Trust. So invest into all of those. But this is important because Vaneck had filed for one of these back a couple of years ago. They had filed for this a couple of years ago, but they experienced a lot of issues. And now they're trying to do the same thing again. They're trying to file. Back in 2017, it didn't work out quite as they had planned. So now they're trying to do it again and file for a new Bitcoin. It's called Bitcoin Strategy ETF. This is exciting because we're continuing to see more and more institutions. File for Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs. So that's showing us that there's a lot of demand for this investment product. And eventually, we're going to see the SEC ultimately pass one of those. So anyways, that's what's really going on with crypto right now. The stream is a little bit all over the place right now in terms of it lagging. So I'm sorry about that. We're still traveling, but you guys know we're never going to miss a day. We're going to be on here every single day, no matter what happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on the bell notifications. And I'll see you guys later for another video. We're going to let my computer, my laptop, take a little bit of a break because it feels like it's going to catch on fire right now. But I hope you guys enjoy.